Welcome to Free Your Mind Reviews. This is Chris Johnson with a review of Zombieland Double Tap. So, Zombieland Double Tap is, of course, the long-awaited sequel to the 2009 film Zombieland. And we pick up in real time, 10 years later, with our crew, the strong four, the core four, all having to deal with these new zombie threats while at the same time just dealing with the natural impulses of having this makeshift family and having one's own desires and needing to understand that sometimes you need to chuck those in the zombie apocalypse. Damn you. So, Zombieland Double Tap is once again written by the same writers who wrote the original Zombieland and, of course, moved on to do the great Deadpool films. And it's, of course, directed by Ruben Fletcher again, who did the first Zombieland and has since done 30 Minutes or Less. He's done Gangster Squad, and he did Venom. And I'm one of the first people to admit I was not pleased with Venom at all. Not just because I thought it was low, it was low stakes, low rent. It felt, when people say it felt like a 90s superhero movie, do we need 90s superhero movies again? We've evolved past that. The 90s wasn't really that kind of superhero movies. I mean, take out Batman Returns and what do you have? Maybe Blade? But you know how many people didn't realize Blade was a comic book movie at the time? That's why part of me is like, yeah. That's why I love Blade, but I like to give that credit to X-Men because it was right in your face that was a comic book superhero movie. But anyway, digress. So yeah, Venom being a callback to those movies was not appealing to me at all. And the only good thing about that movie to me was the relationship between Eddie Brock and the symbiote. But I felt like the most disappointing aspect for me with that movie was Ruben's directing, which had so much life and energy to it in Zombieland and even Gangster Squad, and none of that was to be found in Venom. Felt like such a bland Sony movie, such a bland journeyman movie. I couldn't believe it. Is this the same guy? It doesn't even feel like him. The way he's setting up the camera was dull. To me. So I'm very pleased to say that I really, really, really liked Zombieland Double Tap. And it pretty much had everything that I liked about the first one. And that includes Ruben's return to his more energetic style of directing, both in the cast performances and the way he uses camera, color, editing, slow-mo, fast-mo to tell the story of Zombieland. There's some really cool, really cool sequences in this movie. It was like a long take type sequence that I'm just sitting there going like, that's what I'm talking about, Ruben. That's what I loved about your work the first time around, was your energy, your fire. You know? And mixing with the directing of how Zombieland was directed, mixed in with the jokes that are firing on all cylinders and the cleverness of how the writers explore their interpretation of the zombie apocalypse. And the fact that it still feels fresh even after all this time, even with The Walking Dead dominating the world of zombies nowadays. And for me, kind of overstaying its welcome, but whatever. It's still great to have a legitimately funny, exciting, gory experience with this movie. And what I love is now, in the 10 years since Zombieland, now all four of those main actors, Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, Abigail Breslin, they've all now been Oscar nominees, with Emma Stone being a winner. And it's just great that all four come back, and all four bring their all and completely stay inhabited with their characters and without this world. They're not too cool for school. Some people are like, I can't do that movie anymore. I'm a respectful actor now. Like, nah, man. there's nothing wrong with having a good ass time at the movies. And I like the little character arcs that they go through in this movie. I like how Emma's character doesn't really want to commit. Even after all these years, she's scared of commitment. Which is funny, considering you're in the zombie apocalypse. You're lucky to have somebody special that you actually feel special about right next to you. Why be scared to commit? I mean, that's funny coming from me, but still, you know. Loved Woody Harrelson's character and his evolution and his obsession with trying to be the best father he could possibly be to Abigail Breslin's character, who of course is now 10 years older and she just wants to be left alone now. you know? Yeah, I love that. But I also, and I have to agree with Jeremy Johns too. I saw his review last night on YouTube, and I was very happy to see that Tallahassee didn't change as a character too much to like, the affection he had. Of course, that was part of his arc in the first film, but they don't change how he looks at things, especially in this world of today, where anything he would say would be looked at as cool in 2009, but would be looked at as toxic today. But here we go. People need to understand this is a sequel to a movie from 2009, which has been going through the zombie apocalypse this whole time. There isn't any smartphones like the way we have them today. There's some of the technology wasn't able to be made because everyone died. And there was no Twitter or Instagram or anything like that to be telling us what we can and cannot do, what we say and cannot say, and what we can explore and cannot explore. So of course Tallahassee is gonna still be that same X-rated, uproaring, goofy alpha male type of role, and I'm glad he is, because that's who he is. That's what made him funny to me. That's what made him popular, and that's how he should stay. And it's also such a great juxtaposition to Jesse's more meeker person, and the whole idea that the alpha and the meek could work. That's kind of what Shaft was kind of do too, the new Shaft. But Zombieland technically beat him first by 10 years, and Zombieland 2 just continues it. I had such a good time with this movie, and I hope it does well. And if they do a 3, don't take so long this time. Even though maybe they may want to try and make that a little quirk of the series. Like every 10 years, we'll take a break from doing our Academy Award winning nominated roles, and we'll do some Zombieland. I will be there if it keeps being as fun as this. Oh, massive props to Zoe Doche for playing the airhead Madison. I didn't know how that would go, judging from the trailers, but it goes very, very well. And she's like probably the one moronic person I'd ever actually want to be around, because she's so adorable. Most stupid people just get on my nerves in real life, specifically because a lot of them are so stupid and think they're smart. They think they're the biggest and they're right about everything. But I love the Madison character. I thought she was a great addition to the Zombieland cast. There's some other great additions to the Zombieland cast, while at the same time, for me, not taking away from the story of the core 4 of Zombieland. And I'm very happy to say that. So, yeah, Zombieland, I had a great day. Yes, I had a great double feature last night with Zombieland Double Tap and Jojo Rabbit. It was much better than last week's monstrosity of a double feature with Jexy and Gemini Man. And I have to say one thing about certain audience people who again are stupid and think they're smart. The next time you try to critique a certain technique in a film, get it right. There was a moment in Zombieland, and somebody was in the in the row I was in saying, "Oh, Gemini Man, look at this high frame rate." And I really wanted to scream out, "No, you moron. That is a different use of shutter speed. Those are different. Shutter speed and high frame rate. They're different, you dumb shit." So, note to people, sometimes maybe you should keep certain thoughts to yourself. Shut up anyway in the theater, but keep some thoughts to yourself because you end up sounding like a dumbass. So, this is Chris Johnson for Free of My Reviews. Go check out Zombieland. Double tap.